I'm Kelly Jack. Welcome to on the Dyfed Rex channel. How Not to Game with Kelly Jack, and this is our Devil's Towers Fixit 1969 game series, episode 4 of that series. I'd like to welcome everybody aboard. If you're just finding the channel, I'm not a high energy guy, sorry. Age hath robbed me of that ability. So what I did last time was I dispatched this train and these trucks. Now the truck's making money, the train's losing money. He's made one round trip, and he's going to lose money. Part of that's the dispatch, but still. Let's see if I can get him to even move. And no, there is insufficient production coming out of this spot. So, we've already stepped into 1970 here. As we move forward, it's time to start doing some serious working. Somebody couldn't find a route for a few minutes. That was the train going back to the depot. We're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to state that this train is now a losing proposition. So I'm going to get the train open, go to vehicle details, send him back to the depot like we did before, close it out, because this time we're going to sell him. And as he clears the station, I'm going to blow those two lines, leave this connected so that it's still the crude yard. And then we're going to grab, in special construction, the crude tanks so that it will hold considerably more. Those things hold 320. So I really only needed one, but we're doing it this way. Now at the same time, I might start building more truck points here and here and eliminate this run too, because I'm wondering now if we can get better service by running this train. Because that train, while he's making money, it's mostly on the gas. So here he is, he's rolling for the first time in a while. And he does make some pretty good money when he makes a delivery, but he'll go long periods without making a delivery too, because he's waiting for a full load of gas before he picks up oil on the return trip. And yes, I do know that those are supposed to be dedicated cars, but we're having it be that he's dropping and picking up. So there he made the 11,500. He's going to come over to here, and at this spot, according to that schedule, it's a 50% load, which he got because the trucks weren't there, because the big train was no longer there. And I'm sitting here thinking, gee, we can straighten the route, ease him up a little bit, put him onto this, and get rid of part of this line. So he's going to make money. That's just how it goes. How much money he's going to make, we'll see in a minute. Full round trip for him as he comes in to start delivering. About 13,000 per round trip. So not bad, not bad. I think we'll keep him. Might adjust his route. And we're able to. So fact, I know we're going to adjust that route. I don't like this double, and I'm beginning to think this might be the way to go right there. Also, down the road, everything's going to come out to a main throat out here. The trucks have picked up a lot of the slack on moving the oil back and forth. We need to get power over here. But power would be better if we wait until after we figure out how we're running things. So let's figure out how we're going to run things. Well, again, like I said, why have excess track that we're not using anymore? Let's get rid of a portion of this, but we're going to leave it to there. The reason is that's going to become part of the main new throat down the road. And you know what? I'm thinking we can start doing some reconfigurations. All right. We're going to leave that ridge as a sort of a reminder where we screwed up at some point. But we're right now trying to see where we're going to relocate this guy. He's going to go into this one instead of here in the future. It will mean that we're going to have to move back in one at a time our items or see what else we can do. Because really, if you get down to it, races didn't need to be on a train. And we could probably deliver races off of a rail line too. Let's see what we can do. Races fuel. I do have a question. Do these things make money? Barely. We're going to have to figure out a better way than 2 steam engines to make money on that guy. Figure out what those cost and get those costs down. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. The time has come to begin setting up for the changes that will have to happen. One of those changes is I need to make that yard a much better yard. Maybe even one with a pass through, pass under. Maybe I have to create a tunnel system underneath it, yard on top. That might be an interesting setup if it lets me do it. And then, of course, there's this disaster over here and how these guys go in 6 different separate ways. You know, you got 3 lines to bring in 3 trains. And I probably could have even gotten away with only one or maybe a little bit of double tracked, a couple of sidings, a single line with sidings. Maybe double track in the throat area, because that does seem to make sense to me. As we continue to watch this and try to figure out where to go next. I think I'm going to do a tie-in right here. So initially, I'm going to need this. We're going to blow those, get that savings right away on that bridge. Do some groundwork. Whoops. Reconnect this boy up. He's going to come up like this now. Makes this much better. I could have even come up like that. Oh, that's an even better way. Straight shotting with just a simple turn. Yeah. There we go. And you're asking, why are you doing what you're doing? Well, down the road, we're hoping to improve our throughput enough that these guys are running constantly. Now it's time to get rid of some more rail, because that's 6 sections of rail. Now that was a good chunk of rail we got rid of. Yes, we added a little bit more, but we also got rid of a bridge and a few other things. Down the road, we'll be able to do some landscaping to smooth the terrain, get rid of that ridge, our mistake ridge here, as I'm calling it. There we go. Do that right now. So now it's not quite so obvious that we had a line going there. And we can plant trees there and other things to try to hide our mistake. So we've done one of our first cleanups where we've eliminated and settled down a line a little bit. Next up will be trying to figure out what we could do to better make this work as a setup and to get power down here. Power might be the hardest part to get down here. And the reason I would like to get power down here is eventually we'll start to get stuff growing in this area too. Hopefully. Now, one line cleaned a little bit. Let's see what next can be done. And again, we were talking about, can we do, instead of a rail line over to race, which would let us bring this back down to surface and eliminate a bridge. And that's a pricey bridge. I mean, that's a concrete rail bridges are $80 a month per span. So that's $160 a month right there. And because it's right on the road network. We can practically jump on right here, just make a loading station. Shift this guy to take and pick up where he's dispatching from now. Things we can do, things we can do, things we can do. That's a great idea. Let's try it. So, first things first, where's he at? He's only 3% loaded. You know what? We're going to utilize a new button. Once we get the train open, there he is. So that's Race's Benzene's tanker. Vehicle details. Unload only. This sends him over. It's a loser. And then we're going to send him to the depot after he's unloaded. Not right away, like he started to do. Okay. I just want to get the maximum amount of cargo and to get him out of there so that we can do a reconfiguration on this guy, border crude. Okay, so border crude's the line we got to adjust. So we're going to do a line adjustment. Find border crude, border Brent oiler. There he is. And we're going to go to his schedule. And his spot in Benzene's yard is this one. We're going to remove it and tell him to come to this one where the gas tanker used to load at. Okay, with that done, he's empty. Send him to the depot. Because we're going to sell you in a minute and that other train. And as we can see, we now got a through, so we don't need this loop around here anymore. So let's go back, close the lists for a second, do my cleanups. Whoops. Get rid of that stretcher rail, and then get rid of that stretcher rail. Close out a rail for a moment. We're in road. We're just going to do cobblestones. And just like over there, we're going to do 3. Ooh, nice. I've got a really cool idea here. It's probably not going to work. I was going to have it go out this way and in this way. Gets us a couple more tiles, 4 more tiles of transport distance. And we'll see if we lose too much money doing that versus just telling it to go straight out, which actually, you know what? Straight out him. Okay. Put the choose signal in before we get going. And I actually want that choose signal there. The further back from the actual split, the better choices he has. So, getting that set up. Then come over here to race. Now, race no longer needs this stretch of rail. But we're not going to take it out all the way. So, why? I'm going to use part of that to get to this guy. And this guy's going to be done slightly differently. I might do it as a raised section and then drop down. I might even just bring him out this way, dig him down and have him come out as a tunnel where he doesn't even affect the town as much. That's a good idea. So we know we can get rid of that part of the infrastructure. And then the bus depot is going to be an issue. So I need to take and do the road port. There we go. Grab my cargo so that he stays as races. Hopefully this didn't detach. Uh, yep, Town and Races Yard. There we go. Now we can take the road out, blow just the rail back to there. And I'm actually blowing all the way back to here because I'm going to do a dig out for this guy and have him come out as a other methodology and then lower this guy down so that we're no longer using this bridge. Then again, by having that as an elevated rail to that point, less interference with the town and its traffic flows. So maybe we'll leave that bridge. Maybe we'll get the Public Service Commission to take over that bridge. That is an option. We'd have to pay to take and run across the bridge, but hey, worth it. All right, so now connect that road in so that he's able to go in here and deliver. We're going to put a choose point right there. Down the road, I might even build a tunnel through here, but first things first, we've got to reroute this guy so that we give Brenton back more and more space. That's our goal, to get Brenton back more space to grow. So let's see what we can do. We need to do our dispatch. And this is going to be our gas tankers. So come to here. Same thing we did before. Grab those guys. We only need 2 of them, I think. I'm pretty certain 2 of these is going to take and do it because that train wasn't moving that often. So we will see what we can do. Scheduling, he's going to go from here to here. And now we will 100% that at Brent's Benzines for gas. That's Races Fuels Road Tankers. Copy them and fire both of those onto the road, and we'll see just how often those go. We might be able to get rid of one of these platforms. Down the road, we will get rid of possibly one of these, but I'm planning on dispatching gas possibly down the road by tanker. Because again, how long does this guy sit? A long time. Because he's not getting enough crude. And part of that's our system design, where we're only running 1 train per line. Maybe we can start building this up. Maybe we need to start getting more people to our oil fields, various things. Anyway, that's this video. Episode 4 is over. got some steps taken. I'm not as fast as other guys trying to think this through. What can I do wrong? What can I do to make this look more streamlined and allow the communities to grow better than what I was allowing before? I'm Kelly Jack. Have a better day than I'm having.